morning, I'm Agustín Zepeda for NewZtar Intelligence. Here is your global briefing for Saturday, June 6, 2026. The United States has conducted strikes on Iranian radar installations following Iranian drone attacks near the Strait of Hormuz. The strait remains mostly closed according to reports, threatening global oil supplies as roughly 21% of the world's petroleum passes through this choke point. Trump told media Iran has not made a deal because they are strong and proud, signaling negotiations remain stalled. But here is where the coverage diverges. American media frames this as an urgent live crisis with continuous updates, while Chinese and Russian state media largely omit front-page coverage entirely, despite massive global oil implications. Israeli media uniquely claims the IDF issued an evacuation order for Tehran ahead of strikes, a claim no other regional source has corroborated. Israeli airstrikes killed 9 people, including Lebanese army officers, after a ceasefire agreement was reached. A separate strike killed at least 5 people at a wedding in Gaza. European outlets characterize the border truce as already under severe pressure, but here is where the coverage diverges. American and European media prominently report this as a ceasefire violation, with Lebanese army casualties, while Israeli outlets either bury the story entirely or redirect focus to settler violence and other incidents. Middle Eastern outlets emphasize a pattern of civilian targeting, including the separate wedding strike. Ukrainian drones conducted what Russia calls an unprecedented attack on St. Petersburg. Russian state media characterizes the strike as a major escalation in targeting. The attack comes as reports emerge that Russia and Ukraine have exchanged peace memoranda through intermediaries. But here is where the coverage diverges. Russian media emphasizes this as an unprecedented escalation and major Ukrainian aggression, while American and European outlets provide minimal coverage and frame it within broader conflict context. Russian sources prominently feature peace memoranda exchanges, while Western media barely mentions diplomatic developments. The Swiss National Bank executed an emergency half-point rate cut, bringing rates down to 0.5%. Markets reacted sharply, with the dollar surging 0.5% against the franc immediately following the announcement. The aggressive move signals crisis response as global economic pressures mount from the Hormuz closure and regional conflicts. But here is where the coverage diverges. European and American media frame this as an emergency crisis response to mounting geopolitical pressures, emphasizing the unusual aggressiveness of the move. Chinese and Russian outlets provide minimal coverage, despite significant implications for global currency markets and trade flows. Chinese President Xi Jinping will visit North Korea in the coming days, signaling China's strategic positioning amid regional nuclear tensions. The visit comes as North Korea continues weapons development, and as China manages relationships across multiple conflict zones. Analysts view the trip as Beijing asserting influence on the Korean peninsula. But here is where the coverage diverges. Chinese state media frames this as routine bilateral friendship and normal diplomatic exchange, while American and European outlets emphasize strategic timing amid nuclear tensions and interpret it as assertive regional power positioning. Russian media provides supportive coverage highlighting multipolarity. Major artificial intelligence companies have united on new safeguards to prevent AI systems from assisting in DNA bioweapon development. The agreement establishes protocols for screening requests and blocking dangerous biological design queries. The move comes as AI capabilities in protein folding and genetic design have advanced rapidly. But here is where the coverage diverges. American and European media emphasize the biosecurity risks and frame this as necessary precaution against catastrophic misuse, while Chinese state media highlights international cooperation and responsible innovation. Russian outlets provide minimal coverage of the AI safety agreement. That is your NewZtar Intelligence briefing for Saturday, June 6, 2026. News in every angle, every morning. I'm Agustín Zepeda. Stay informed.